What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Let's take a look at Curtis Coates and Jose Napoles, two stand-up individuals. Both had great integrity, and they were both world welterweight champions. I had the pleasure of meeting Curtis Coates and Jose Napoles. Jose Napoles was born April 13, 1940 in San Diego de Cuba. He died August 16, 2019. He was 79 years of age at the time of his death. Stood 5'7" He was a welterweight with a 72-inch reach, and he was originally from Cuba, and he would reside in Mexico because Fidel Castro would come in office and immediately ban professional boxing. There was nothing more than Jose Napoles wanted to become a professional prize fighter. So when he moved to Mexico, he would rack up an amateur record of 114 wins, 1 loss. A professional record of 88 total bouts, 81 wins, 54 knockouts, 7 losses, and he was stopped 4 times. He'd be in the ring with fighters such as L.C. Morgan and Emil Griffith, Carlos Hernandez and Bunny Grant, Eddie Perkins, Curtis Coates, Hedgeman Lewis and Gene Jocelyn, Adolf Prout, Carlos Monzon, Armando Munez. Just an example of some of the great fighters that Jose Napoles was in the ring with. Napoles would be in the ring with Curtis Coates, who was a welterweight champion of the world. And after 13 rounds, he would knock out Curtis Coates. And the fight took place April 18, 1969. Jose Napoles was 143 pounds. Curtis Coates was 146. Napoles was paid $20,000. Curtis Coates was paid $80,000. The attendance was 15,878 spectators. The gate was $195,480. And it was some fight. Coates would really put up a good battle, but he couldn't keep up with the pace with Jose Napoles. And that's quite all right because Jose Napoles was really a great fighter. And amazingly enough, the former welterweight and middleweight champion, Emil Griffith, would find himself also on the losing end of the newly crowned welterweight champion, Jose Napoles, on October 17, 1969. He would face 9-1 underdog, Canastota, New York southpaw, Howard Williams Bucket. They called him Billy Buckets. And the fight was stopped after 4 rounds when Jose Napoles would suffer a cut over his eye. Billy Buckets would become the newly crowned welterweight champion of the world. June 4th, 1971, Jose Napoles would regain his welterweight champion of the world title bout in 8 rounds when he knocked out Billy Buckets. Billy Buckets would receive a second opportunity for a championship title with the number 1 ranked Detroit's Hedgeman Lewis on June 16, 1972 for the vacant New York SAC World Welterweight Championship belt. And he lost a 15-round decision. Jose Napoles would face fighters such as Curtis Coates. Curtis Coates was born in Dallas, Texas. He was a well-rounded athlete. Began boxing at the YMCA. He had 22 amateur bouts. 1958. Coates would face Stephen Radel. He'd be in the ring with Kenny Lane, Jose Staple, Kenny Kitten Haywood. And Napoles and his manager were suspended because of a brief contract, 120 days, with Canastota's boxing club. And they had the right to choose the opponent, and the opponent was Billy Buckets. Jose Napoles and his management team couldn't understand these political games that were being played because it seemed like Billy Buckets kept on getting opportunities. Jose Napoles would face welterweight Hedgeman Lewis December 14, 1971 for the World Welterweight Championship. The fight with him and Emil Griffith and him and Carlos Monzon were special fights. But the match with Curtis Coates, fought him twice, and they were ring classics. I wanted to bring that fight to you because both these men were phenomenal fighters during their time. And I feel it's only right to acknowledge great fighters. And so I bring to your attention Curtis Coates, who held the welterweight championship belt October 2nd, 1967 to April 18th, 1969. Jose Napoles, become champion April 18th, 1969. This is Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series, stating all great fights and all great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. Salute to Curtis Coates and salute to Jose Napoles. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Peace.